The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Heart Grant is brought to you by Alive, the Bahamas Football Association, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, Grace Kennedy Money Service, Jazz in the Gardens, Pinder Towel, Print Masters, Ross Electric Motors, and Wendy's.
Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. It is a beautiful day today. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to be in the land of the living. I know it has been a tumultuous weekend for some people. Loved ones have passed away. I watched a couple videos of some things happening. Just saw some breaking news last night with multiple shots in a particular area last night. Read that information right here on the Nassau Guardian stuff. And it's peculiar, man. I'm just happy to be here. And I hope that you guys are good. I hope that you enjoyed your weekend. You know, it's peculiar. I was just telling someone downstairs. They say, hey, Howard, what's up? How was your weekend? I said, you know what's crazy is that all week, my two little children, they dragging. They know school today. They got to wake up around 6 or 7. They dragging. Oh, Daddy, I don't want to go to school today. But on Saturday, when it's time for me, 7 o'clock in the morning, they jumping on my back. This is too much. This is too much. Hey, Daddy, what's up? What are we doing today? Where are we going? Oh, my God. This is too much. I'm hoping that you guys had a good weekend, man, and been able to relax yourself and be able to enjoy yourself with your families and whatnot. This has been a very, very busy weekend for a lot of persons. I myself, my wife and I, we actually had an opportunity to be able to hang out with my good friend, Ephraim Jones, and his sons, Jaron and Jamal, and all their kids, their wives, and everything like that. Some good people came out to Garden of Eden for his book launch. We talked about his book launch the week before, and it was astonishing, or a few days before, and it was astonishing, man. It was a very warm time, and it filled my heart with this sort of an idea that says that, you could leave a legacy, and it's not always about money and what you put in people's hands, but rather the deposits that you make in their lives, in their spirits, in their hearts, that cause them to show up for you even after death. I saw Sylvia Jones's, her friends, some of the ladies that she used to hang out with, and just hearing their stories and just being able to talk about even when they went through trials and tribulations, how they would show up as a grouping that loved each other, washing and cooking and cleaning and whatnot, when she was in a good space. And so just sitting in that kind of a space for me, It was an amazing thing. My wife and I went, and we had a wonderful time with Ephraim. And guys, I want to be able to encourage you to purchase the book, man. This is, and you know Ephraim. If you know Ephraim for a long time, he's a photographer. So some of the book, half of the book is really a dedication, a montage, a collage of moments that they shared during their time. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there and let you guys know that, and let you know that this is one of the things that I've done this weekend, and it was truly transformative. I enjoyed that. I had a chance to be able to. I ran across V. Alfred Gray was there. Rupert Raman was there. Reuben Raman, he was there. And Minister Fred Mitchell was there. Some other persons and dignitaries and whatnot came through. Some other faces I didn't know, just touching persons. They were there. Shout out to Chef Mizik. That thing was crazy. It was a beautiful occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Chef had some Snap-on there. That was great, man. He did a wonderful thing. And also, Chantal was there. She was doing some serving and whatnot in her capacity. You guys remember Chantal and what she was done for us, and always being able to kind of hook up with us here from Coco Plum Bistro, right? Coco Plum Bistro out there, where she tell me they're going through some a new phase, new management, do some stuff like that. So we should be hearing from them real soon and being able to talk to us about that. But I hope you guys had a good weekend, man. There's a hell of a lot of things to do. I said to my wife, we left around 9 o'clock or so. I said, okay, now let's go down to see what's going on to the COI. And she looked at me. I said, I don't know if I'm going. I just want to be decent with you. I saw your turnout, man. You had a good turnout down there at the Fusion. I saw this gentleman standing there on the pictures that I saw with an air thing in his ear. I didn't know whether or not he was with Secret Service, or I didn't know if he was listening to someone. I said, this room is kind of small. Is he talking to someone? I just want to be decent. As I say this, I'm looking at the room, and everyone's adorned in black. You know, the pom-poms is Bahamian pom-poms. I liked it. I was waiting for Lincoln to send me the actual vision, a script of it, so I can be able to go over it and see exactly what's what, but he hadn't sent it to me just yet. So hopefully he could send that to me, and I could digest it, and we could have a good conversation about it. There's sort of an idea for Vision 2030. So congratulations to the COI, congratulations to Ephraim, congratulations to all those persons. I think SAC had something this weekend. I don't know who else had anything. I saw something with somebody tell me something about one of the number houses or something like that. Whatever you guys are doing this weekend, I'm hoping that you're good. I'm hoping that you did well and being able to do so safely. Like I said, I did hear some gunshots, did see some stuff, but I'm hoping that everyone's safe otherwise. I'm being able to enjoy that. Guys, join me in conversation today. I'd love you to do so. Before we do that, I got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance. Agents and brokers get everything laid out for you. Make sure you go check them out. 3411-AFS. 3411-AFS is the top of the month again. If you're celebrating a birthday in the month of March, my wife already waked me up on Saturday morning after the children jumping on me. She said, well, no one said happy birthday to me. I said, baby, you need to calm down. Her birthday's on the 12th, right? I said, baby, you need to calm down. She says, no, the entire month is mine. This is too much. I get one day, maybe 30 minutes in the day that I have that belongs to me in terms of my birth. But she gets an entire month. This scale, we got to fix this scale. This is too much. We got to deal with this. So happy birthday to you guys. If you're celebrating a birthday in the month of March, we got to deal with those things. And if you are celebrating a birthday, you got to get your car insured. You got to get your car insured and licensed and so forth and so on. Until these things is re-amalgamated and kind of fixed to a way that it's supposed to be done, you got to go get that thing taken care of. And in terms of being able to do that, you want to go and check out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. Give a call, 3411-AFS, 3411-AFS. They take very good care of you. Got to let you know also, Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. We talked to Dr. Teresa last week, and she started to tell us about this idea of the hydrocolonic and being able to get your colon cleansed and prepare yourself to be able to rid yourself, rather, of all the toxins and everything, that the bile and the buildup and the mucus and whatnot in your system. You can be able to do that in your colon. You could be able to do that with her. one state-of-the-art machine, and the only one in the Bahamas, and I think one of 3 in the Caribbean, the entire Caribbean. It's an excellent machine, and it does a great deal. On April 1st, we're going to be able to go down to One West, where she's going to be kicking off a great deal of things, and you get 25% off. As of now, 25% off today, and 25% off on Friday, okay? 25% off today, which is Monday, and 25% off on Fridays, all right? The regular price, or the base price that she actually goes by, is $149.99, she says. And you get 50% off on the 25th day of every month. Now, you could make your bookings in advance. You don't have to make your booking on, any random day. You don't have to make it right now. You can make it on a Monday. You can make it on a Friday. You can make it on the 25th. It's up to you. Mondays and Fridays, 25% off. On the 25th day, you get 50% off of $149. You can't beat that thing, all right? You get cleansed out. You feel better. Now you can see things. Your eyes ain't brown no more. My God. You can find yourself in a better position to be able to make some things happen. You want to do that, give her a call at 445-8111, 445-8111. You want to be able to get those things taken care of in that area and move in that direction. All right, so give a call and find out exactly what's what. Or check them out online at www.cocoplumwellnessbahamas.com, cocoplumwellnessbahamas.com, and you could be able to move forward with those things. Got to shout out my good, decent people over at Da Vinci Printing and Innovators. Go check them out, man. I keep telling you, if you're in this kind of a space where you do scribbles, I do a lot of scribbles, right? I get some ideas, I do scribbles. I get ideas, I do scribbles. And, I had some book. I wouldn't want to call it a dream book because your people are very indecent. And I don't mean your dream book where you write numbers. I'm talking about after you have, vivid dreams or these kind of dreams or, something hits you, you want to sit down and kind of write those things down. I think a lot of persons have taken on some sort of journal and whatnot, and now you want to transfer this journal into a piece, possibly a book. Whatever you want to be able to do in those spaces, you can do that. Go down to Da Vinci Printing Innovators. They can be able to assist you in that area, man. They're located on Village Road in the Village Road Shopping Plaza, right there on the side of the Bank of the Bahamas. They can take very good care of you, man. These are my guys. These are my folks, and they are very good at what they do. Excellent customer service. They're providing you with top tier. And this is something that you want. This is something that you want to be able to be a part of. Go there and check them out. Let me see if I can get a number for you. So you can be able to see exactly what's what. Let's see that. Okay, so the Da Vinci number is 677-2922, 677-2922, Da Vinci Printing Innovators. Now, we got to be able to tell you about this now. Was that Grosvenor? Did I say it right? Tell me it again, man. Jesus, for God's sake. Grosvenor. I keep saying this wrong. Grosvenor, right? You'll forgive me for that. But Grosvenor Medical Center wants you to be able to remember the screening for the colorectal cancer should begin at the age of 45. Now, a couple of us are shy away from 45. And I don't know whether or not this is debatable. I guess we can ask the doctor when we get a chance. But some of us should be looked at when we get a certain range. I think it was 43 at one point, but the say now is 45. Said to reduce your risk for colon cancer, schedule your colonoscopy today and reduce your prices for the month of March and April. For the month of March and April, this is the beginning of March, at the office of Dr. Harold Munnings, located next to Princess Margaret Hospital. We're offering an even lower price for those persons who present their NHI card. Give them a call today at 328-5550, 328-5550, and they can be able to assist you with that. That's Grosvenor, right? And make sure you don't miss the 25th, don't miss the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium in Nassau on March 11th to the 16th. Watch the Jungle Boys take the top teams like Panama and the U.S. It's free to attend. It's free to attend. Make sure you come out. Plan to come out. This is March 11th to the 16th. Plan to come out. It's absolutely free to support Team Bahamas. Support your team and be able to do those things. Guys, make sure you pick up the Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. You can see exactly what's what as we continue to be able to push forward and make some things happen. This here, $10 million on government travel in 6 months. The figure up by $3.6 million over the previous years. We could be able to see those things. The government to review the existing moorings fields. A good Samaritan who helped woman being attacked is being honored in these particular areas. Police investigating a death of a woman found floating in waters off eastern New Providence. Now, if you're anything like me, you just get some WhatsApp, some pictures, some videos, and some things like that as to what's been happening around the country. And I could not believe when I saw that car flying over the edge of that thing. I could not believe what I was looking at. And, I guess hindsight is 20/20, right? You could be able to now put some things in the road, some little small stop bumps, and just do before you go into that space. Maybe make the seawall in that area a little bit higher, or put some kind of a rail there. I don't know, but when I saw that thing flying over, in my mind, it feels like this could happen often. If someone's swinging around that curve, it's such a sharp, steep curve. Even if you're coming from west to east and you're turning the curb right there, if you don't take your time late in the night and you don't know the road, you could find yourself slipping right down there and being able to do some things. I'm very sad to see that, man. I'm very sad to see that the young lady lost her life. The stories that I read structured it as though she's a mother. And if she is, I want to be able to say condolences to the family and condolences to the baby girl or the baby boy who's lost their mother in this kind of a space. It's a very hard way to go. It's a very hard way to go. But I'm hoping that you get some kind of solace and you have family that supports you to be able to get you through. This is not going to be easy to be able to lose a loved one like that. Guys, you have to slow down on these roads out here. This is why it's important to have your woman in the car with you or driving with your man. Can I say this? Because even if we rowing, we ain't driving fast. Even if we rowing, when we just chilling and relaxing ourselves from one space to another, we having good conversation. Now, this ain't have nothing to do with this, but I'm saying to you, there's no need to rush. I don't understand people who's rushing Nassau. Where are you going, sir? Where are you going? Yeah, I could see you rushing at 9:03 in the morning and sliding on the side of the road on Gladstone Road, or trying to figure out how you can get through traffic on Milo Butler or any one of these places where you get bottlenecks because you're late for work and you're trying to do your makeup in the car. But I really don't understand why you're speeding, Nassau. I just don't understand. I think I've matured beyond that. Y'all gonna have to wait on me. No, I'm not mad. You're gonna have to wait on me. And let's be able to do that. Guys, please, please take caution in this road. Take caution in the city of Nassau. And I see you running into walls, you're running into buildings. And I don't know whether or not alcohol is as a result of these particular things, but I just need to say to you, take your time, man. Take your time in the city of Nassau. Let's be able to do what we have to do. Guys, the lines are wide open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. Oh, okay. All right, no problem. 4796. We could be able to do those things, right? And we can see exactly what's what. I don't know what's on your mind today. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. People hit me up and tell me, Howard, you're talking about the government, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's an exhausting thing. Y'all need to stop. If you want me to be here and play patty cake with you, somebody text me and say, Howard, let's just play patty cake. Let's not have a real conversation today. If that's what you're into, then, I can make it happen if this is one of the things that kind of, rock your boat. But if you want to have a real conversation about where we are and the ineptitude that exists in these particular spaces, in our governments, and the lack of vision and foresight of being able to put men and women who present themselves capable, articulate, insightful, and prepared. And then they show up in these particular spaces and don't perform. If you don't want to talk about that, then that's cool. If you want to pretend as though you're looking at leadership that has the capability and the wherewithal to being able to put themselves forward, then that's fine. Then you do that. I can play along with you. But if you don't have a real conversation, I'd love you to do that with me. I'd love you to hit me up and let's have a real conversation about these things. I listened to Fred Mitchell thing this morning, right? And listening to Fred Mitchell's stuff this morning, Fred, I tell you guys get his little thing, right? Efficacy, I think it's named Efficacy. Something, right? And it's like a group chat. You know what talks in it. He just put his stuff out when he's been able to do these stuff. And I listened to him draw a comparison to the travel budget. Now, this is politics 101. This is at the hilt of deflection. This is not dealing with what the question is. This is only being able to put a mirror up to your opponents and indicate that you've done the same thing that we've done. I don't understand why this is a problem. You forget when you did it. In fact, you did more than we did. Now, why are you making it a problem when we do it if you were able to do it? This is as it relates to the travel budget. Fred taking on this position to indicate that it's been a significant increase for the FNM in comparison for what the PLP has done. And I don't know whether or not I heard any impact of what we've seen after these particular persons have gone off. But this drawing the contrast between political organizations is one of the most exhausting things to me ever. I just can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I just can't. I've tried to figure out whether or not you do that in relationships. I feel like women do that in relationships. But as a man, I don't know whether or not this is something that we are supposed to do. The logic, the way that we're wired, I don't know whether or not we could take that and manipulate it, mold it, and shape it into this contrast of being able to have a dialogue, just a lateral dialogue that ain't going nowhere. I don't know. Just talk to me. Let's have a clear conversation. Just talk to me. I hear what Fred Mitchell is saying. I do. And I cannot say what he's saying is wrong. But in the capacity of a New Day administration, because we're not concerned about people that we fired. I just want to let you know that. We're not concerned about people that we fired. We're not concerned about people who are not in the game. We're not concerned about people who are not on the court. People is yell out, traveling, foul, mother sick. I can't believe you all doing that from the sidelines. My God, they ain't in the game. They are not in the game. So our care and concern, whilst they're being able to bring things to the forefront, is not the persons on the sideline. Our care and concern is the government who've made a commitment to the Bahamian people and said that this is a new day. That's it. And, very quietly, I expect some big things from the PLP. Very quietly, I await that kind of a sleeping giant that exists within the PLP to hit me with marketing and advertisements and be able to push their machinery behind one particular concept. But I do expect, in this dispensation of your leadership, I did and I continue to expect that there would be more transparency. Now, I cannot say that you have not given us morsels of that thing. Talk to me. I cannot say that you haven't given us a little pepper shake of transparency and this kind of a forthcoming thing. Yeah, you were good with being able to provide some information. And we're not going to fight you for that. We're going to need a little bit more. We're going to need a little bit more. And we're going to be able to talk about that. Like I said, guys, the lines are wide open. If you want to be able to do that, you can do that. Let me take this one telephone call before I go to a break. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Howard.
Good afternoon, my brother. What's up?
Everything is good, man. First of all, I want to send congratulations out to the COI for the night. It was really wonderful.
It was good. You all had a good showing, too. They had a good showing.
Yeah. It shows that the Bahamian people are serious in moving away from tit-for-tat government, right? Just like what you are explaining today, right? Instead of giving people tangible answers, right? They keep deflecting and and you know, they are for them to say the same thing, the exact same script. It's like they have the script written for these guys once they come in power. So all you do is deflect and say, man, but you used to travel, or you used to buy this. It's like they only, and they, I don't know if they conscious what they are saying, because when they speak these type of sentiments out the public, and the Bahamian people listening to them, the people going like, what? I mean, this would we elect you for? And it's sickening, man. You know, it's hard. It's sickening to the way these old guys still want to govern this country and still looking for Bahamians to support them straight to their end, right? But we have to protect the Bahamas, because 50, 100 years from now, none of us will be here today, who is here today. So what are we doing? We just electing people who just interested in servicing themselves for the day, and whatever bill they rock up, if they are on this country, they say they're not worrying about it because the people can pay those bills. And you get the same situation from the Free National Movement and the FLM. So keep up the good work, and how about you? Keep up the good work, right? Because you're doing a good job.
I appreciate you, guys.
And I appreciate you, but I also appreciate the fact that the Bahamian people are waking up to and understanding the importance of this country and not parties. Have a good day.
Thanks, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, the lines are wide open. Let's take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
The foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Dominica Republic, destination for the team. When an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3 or more money transfers to enter with a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels. Yeah, esto está caliente. Te barinas, really hard to Hola, hola from the DR. Taking pictures for the gram just to show you we are. GK Money be the motion, papi, mamacita. Go to Grace Kennedy, the team is ready to start because Dominica Republic, destination for the team. With an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3 or more money transfers to enter. What a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels, yeah. To see just how it feels, yeah. With Western Union.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant, your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect, being able to do our thing. Guys, the lines are wide open. If you want to be able to kind of chime in and have a good conversation with me, I'd love you to do that. Love you to do so. Give me a call, 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, or you can be able to hit me up, 422-4796. Let's go straight to the lines. Call on the line. Go ahead.
That's me, with Papa.
Hey, what's up, Papa? What's happening with you?
Thank God for life, man. I see Friday when I last called, you get that Cam boy from the PLP. I know you might know him. He had a lot to say after I called. And he was saying, I hope what he was saying, but the Prime Minister won't call people like, he didn't call my name, but he's saying the caller, and he was talking about me, what I had to say. To sign anything, if we on the radio talking and he didn't use the word criticizing, he say like talking bad, but the government or Mr. Davis and stuff like that, we can't expect that his leader he ain't gonna do things. I hope he's wrong. I hope politically Mr. Davis is not stupid enough to do things like that. And maybe even if the last day
things like what for the people who ain't because I
sign something. Hello,
I can't remember. So tell me. So things like what? What was he saying? I can't remember the telephone call. I got to jog it back in my brain.
Chuck laughed when he was finished. He was like one of the last callers. You and God was there, and he was talking about them texts and things which you was reading with Leslie Miller saying a lot of hogs in the PLP.
Yes.
Maybe some of the callers them say every day they. But anyhow, he an important man. Anyhow, that's a lot of time I waste.
Go ahead.
Sorry for that, Howard.
Go ahead. I can fight you.
Yeah, Howard. What I wanted to say was what you was talking about with Fred Mitchell. Fred Mitchell. I listen to him a lot, and either he think all are stupid, or he just do anything and if throw it on the wall and what stick. You know, he talking about what the F&M did when they was in power with the traveling in the mount. I tired of these politicians, Howard, PLP and F&M. We don't want to know. Listen, we want to know what the other side did when they was in power, right? But that ain't mean you gonna get away with it. That ain't mean you must do it. There's some rougher times now, Fred Mitchell. We can't afford to be spending all this money on traveling millions of dollars. What about this thing on the video on internet where you could do meetings and stuff? Man, you and Brave your Prime Minister got to do better than what y'all doing. It's like y'all making a mockery of us. We can't find money for dialysis machine, all kind of different things. The teachers, the doctors, you promised them to pay them. We don't know, but nobody come back and tell us if you pay the doctors them yet. And you could afford to, but justifying, but what the F&M did, talk that, but what ministers them do when they go. We don't want to know all that garbage, way. People hurting right now. People trying to scrap money to buy food and different things. Them when y'all get your cronies around you, who might getting a piece of the pie or whatever, laughing at people.
I want to ask you a question, Papa.
Yes, sir. I them PLPs, them who, not because I getting something or I get some job, I can stand up and say, well, they right or they wrong. I might vote PLP, but I can criticize them and they can either get criticized.
This the avenue I want to take with you. Now, people are saying to me, they call me quietly,
yes, sir,
publicly or privately. Papa only mad because he ain't get nothing. He trying to squeeze the government into a position and believe that they can.
Hold on.
Go ahead now, talk to me,
Papa.
Papa.
Things you said just now. Let's get peace at a time and quickly. Listen. God don't allow we good people like Papa and Howard and others to suffer like that. You mightn't have what you want or what you think you deserve, but the Lord could provide for you.
Every time, Papa, talk
to me. He can make a way. See, listen to me. Papa ain't like some of y'all out there. And let me tell you something. It's a special case. I can't see. I never was a show off even when I could have seen. I voice ain't no show off now. It ain't about showing off. The rich man, they're still trying to get more, could never get enough because of the things they want to do. They're trying to leave their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. But I like to leave something for my children, too. I would like to do some things for them, too. But I don't show off and I don't boast. Not because I criticizing the government mean that I ain't getting nothing. Y'all crazy? Y'all think Brave's in the charge for real? God in charge? But he allow us to do foolishness. He give us free will. He allow Brave to do what he doing. You allow him to be that way.
So your disapproval, your disapproval for this government, this administration ain't got nothing to do with what you ain't getting. It has to do with what they ain't doing. Talk to me.
Sometimes I be a little mad, right?
Talk to me.
And if I think about it, I be grateful, and I have a lot to be thankful for, and I thank God. I come from. I know I'm grateful person. Although I may sound rude, I am grateful. You understand? But they having a ball, and a lot of people who deserve privilege, the word is opportunity to do things to them, they are being overlooked. And listen to me, something in the Bible or the old people say, pick up your bed and walk. Papa's a blind person, but well, you might say, well, I too aggressive or I may be greedy. Some people might have that view. But you all look here, you all know what time it is, what these people doing for their friends, family, and loving with our things. It's enough for all of us, Brad. They don't have to be that way because Papa criticize. Listen to me. When I criticize, I try to bring out the best of the party. I like the PL people. I like the philosophy. I love Celine and them and all, Lady Pill and them. A lot of people are sitting stuff, them Perry Christian, that's my boy. But this thing about the way they conducting themselves and stuff, that's a bunch of foolishness, man. I was telling you about was telling you about Fred Mitchell talking about two wrongs don't make a right. I don't agree with that. I think Fred Mitchell them need to stop this fooling. We need to tell them stop talking crap when they come to the radio. And the reporters need to, I know you all could do your job and take the report, right? But that foolishness about talk that far they spend. Boy, there's some rough times now, boy. We can't afford that, but you and Brad need to stop the travel like you all mad with us. You all don't really like the image, but you all messing up our money, boy. Traveling every second, boy. Tens of millions of dollars for what? Dialysis machine, medicine. Nurses, doctors need to, teachers need to get paid. That's a bunch of foolishness. You see that thing by the office of the Prime Minister, where somebody signed something when they ain't supposed to sign it? That's wrong. The newspaper saying, the Guardian saying this morning, but they can look into this and what is the internal review last week, Friday, they can do? They need to stop doing foolishness. They need to stop that. Big day today. Nobody being charged, nobody. If this was a private firm, not the government money, would they messing up our things? Someone to be in charge. That's like the Oban deal. It was kind of almost was. You can imagine that. My husband is the person who in charge of this company with the government giving this good agreement to. Working with disagreement. And I working in the office of Prime Minister and I can sign something. Come on, you ain't got to. Come on. Either you too smart or we too dumb.
That's a good point.
Keep up the good work, Howard.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for that. Guys, give me a call. Let's talk about these things. I like what Papa say. I wish I could tell you all a little bit deeper about my business because I know you believe that, I don't know the perception that people have these days about people on radio or people on television or whatever the case may be, but it ain't no like lap of luxury as it relates to payment. Unless you own the stations and stuff like that, it's a different story, right? But it ain't no lap of luxury as it relates to payment for talent that exists in these particular areas, no matter where I've gone, right? And your pay is not necessarily, it doesn't equate your talent or your value for the most part. It is designed on an environment that has a glass ceiling. That's how we work in this space. Not because your talent could be comparable to what's happening in the United States of America or Europe or whatever the case may be. You could be with some of the best in the world. That doesn't have anything to do with it. You are paid, based upon the environment that you're in, based upon the layout that you have in these particular spaces, and based upon the talent that exists externally around you. You ain't gonna get paid above that. It's just what it is. And so many of us have to find ourselves, with additional things to do, like whether it's a job, whether it's business, whether it's entrepreneurialism, so forth and so on. And I have been in this space for a very long time. And so a great deal of my money that I bring in from my family is outside of this, right? And I can tell you the truth. It has been, and I'm going to be the success of governments, this former administration more specifically, and now being able to present myself professional, this administration, it is a difficult thing. The playing field is sometimes rigged, and you don't want to say it like that, right? And they create these particular elements to give the sense of transparency, but it's really not there. It's really not there. It's by design, a great deal of these things that you believe a great deal of persons should be afforded an opportunity to be able to access. It is still by design. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But whatever comes through, just like Papa says, whatever comes through based upon your posture, based upon your position, based upon your faith, based upon your understanding, this is not as a result of what people do for you. This is your lot. This is what God has released unto you. And you have to be able to give God praise for that. That's where I am in my life. I'm grateful for what the Father has given me. I'm grateful for what He's done for me. I wish I could tell you more of how I meet people. And people said, Howard, God says, give you this, to do this, this, and this. And I go and do it. I'm the weird guy. I'm not going to question it, not out loud, not to you. I pray about that. And then when something shows up, I execute what I have to do. And that's just how I live my life. A great deal of us don't sit down hand and mouth to a politician's backside. We just don't. With the expectation that a politician does these particular things. I'm having turmoil in certain areas right now. And as a result of the turmoil, I just ask a simple question. Is this something that I've done, or is this that's being done to me? Just a simple question. Is this something that I've done, or has this been something that's being done to me? That's simple. Simple. And if it's something that's being done to me, I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. We have to learn to understand that our source is not man, that the arms of flesh will fail us. It will. It's inevitable. It will fail us. I don't care the strength that you have today. You are one call from life being done. You're one cough away from a vegetation. We don't know. None of us know what tomorrow holds. But we carry ourselves with this sort of an inevitability and strength and this posture and this relationship. And I've done all these things. And, brother, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This thing is bigger than you. And so I feel what I'm saying, man. I really do. I'm just hoping that the administration gets some stuff together as we continue to be able to move forward. Let me see if I can take this telephone call. Caller, go ahead. Go ahead, caller. No? 323-623-235-431-6325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Somebody hit this up. It says, I can read this right here. It says, this weekend, Elon Musk just rescinded the termination. Is this? Yeah. Rescinded the termination of the USAID contract that provided food and malnourished children. This is after CNN reported the story. Musk posted that he would fix it. The problem here is Musk has no idea of the thousands of lives he's disrupted. The thousands of lives he's disrupted, and some literally with consequences of death, and with his ill thought out chaotic actions. Now I want to say this to you. I have, and I can take the time to do this because I need you to understand something. I can get deep with you today. Just turn the radio up a little bit and just listen. Just listen to me, okay? I have structured something for you to be able to understand without saying some things on this traditional radio space. But I need you to understand something that's deeper than this. You said USAID, so I have to take this route. I need you to understand something. I got a couple of minutes. Should I wait till 1 o'clock to tell you? Okay, I can wait till 1 o'clock to tell you. I can wait till 1 o'clock. But I need you to understand something. I'm reading a book, and in reading that book, I contrast it to events that's happening locally, and then I identify the infractions and the indifference that exist in these particular spaces, and I only put one and one together. If you only look at things from a superficial standpoint, the froth on top of your caramel frappuccino, right? The froth from the steam that actually boils the base, the function, the foundation of whatever this is that you're drinking. If you consume yourself with the froth of this thing, you'll never get to the substance. That's it. We got to get deeper than this. You got to understand, why were these things created? Why? Why? You got to ask yourself these things. Why was this created? Who is this designed to help? Is this truly help to an external entity, to an external company, to an external country, organization? Or is this designed to be able to boomerang back to these particular companies and cause you to pay what they've received in their monies already, and then simultaneously pay interest on that? This system is not designed for us to thrive. It's not. When we get back, I want to dive deeper into those particular conversations and be able to talk about that, so we can take it from that text. I can tell you what I've been, and then I can give you the contrast of what's happening and why I said some of the things that I've said. All right? So quick break. We're going to get to news and be right back after this.
The foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Grace Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration Shingles, and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new Sweet and Smoky Barbecue Cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new Sweet and Smoky Barbecue Cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
Bahamas, are you ready? The world is coming to Asan for the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer World Cup qualifiers. March 11 through 16 at the Beach Soccer Stadium next to the Sydney Poitier Bridge. The Jungle Beach Boys, top 5 in CONCACAF, taking on Mexico, USA, and El Salvador. Beach party meets world-class soccer, non-stop action, jungle rhythms, great food, and pure vibes. And it's free. Bring your crew, ring your cowbells, beat your drums, no whistles. March 11 through 16 at the Beach Soccer Stadium. Visit BahamasFA.net for details. Bahamas Beach Soccer, pure vibes.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, the Foundation with Howard Grant, 96.9 FM radio. We're jamming today, really being able to have a good conversation with you. I just wanted to give you this kind of a story. All right, so there's a text that came through that talked to me about USAID. Now, one of the things, and Elon Musk being able to kind of rescind on the contracts that he've made, what happened, and if you're watching what's happening from a global standpoint, more specifically American news, you'll be able to see that Elon Musk, who's the head of the Department of Governmental Efficiency, DOGE, for the United States of America, has taken on this kind of a strong position. Not necessarily him at the forefront, but being able to empower a team to be able to identify a great deal of things. If you've been paying attention over the past few weeks, you would have been able to see them say that they have X amount of million persons over the age of 120 some years old still being able to receive checks. And the numbers go all the way up to 300 and some years old. And being able to identify these things, they are saying that this is something that's terribly wrong with that. One of the heads, I think, of DOGE, Social Security, whatever that department is, or division is, that particular person stepped down. There's a lot of persons that are actually taking on the position of being able to step down as a result of what they've identified as intrusive. What they've identified is this kind of meddling in government's business, right? And you've been able to hear some things. So it's been sort of a back and forward what's been happening over the past few weeks with the Department of Government Efficiency outside of America, and the pushback that they're getting. They're getting pushback from governors, they're getting pushback from mayors, they're getting pushback from lawyers, so forth and so on. But, they continue to be able to tread forward and do those things. Over the weekend, I've read this. I had this book for a long time. I kind of flirted with the idea, open it up, close it up, and so forth and so on. But I decided, because of a particular thing that I'm doing. This is a project that I have to do now. This is a project that I've taken on. I've taken on a specific project, right? And out of this project is going to evolve some information that I'd like to be able to structure and provide from a public standpoint, right? And so because I had the book, I said, you know what, let me read the book. So I read about 3 or 4 chapters this weekend, right? Just kind of laying there in the morning, popped, roll over. I said, let me get this book. And I started reading the book. The book is called The New Confessions of an Economic Hitman, right? This book is by John Perkins. Now, I think Juan McCartney had John Perkins here at one point to talk about the Confessions of an Economic Hitman, right? And this book is a book that's recently released in 2012 or so, 2012, 2013, which is a New Confessions of an Economic Hitman that talk about the technology associated with how these particular persons break down governments the world over. And he's calling names, he's giving examples, he's talking about how he even got involved in these particular things. The book is an excellent book, right? And so as I'm ingesting the information and reading this information, I realized that he started to be able to identify some stuff. He started to talk about this kind of this concept that he calls corporatocracy. Corporatocracy. And what corporatocracy is that it's not democracy. It is a union of corporate entities being able to come together and give you this concept and idea of democracy, but you don't know that they're working in the background. For the United States of America or for this particular entity, you don't know, like the proverbial Wizard of Oz, what exists behind the door, the curtain. And so I read this book, right? Well, I didn't read the whole book. I'm still reading it, right? It's an interesting thing, right? I had an hour or so before the show. I said, man, I should have bring my book. I didn't but I'm going to go and read it and finish reading it. And I'm going to do an article on it and then probably do something and put it in the papers and talk about it, right? But nonetheless, I'm reading it, ingesting the information and seeing this thing, and then I see the contrast of what exists in our society. Now, you'd have heard me said over the past few weeks with conversation with Garth and being able to talk more specifically about politics, that the PLP's enemy is not the Free National Movement. You've heard me say that. I've stopped short from being able to identify who I believe that their enemy is. I've stopped short of being able to identify the significant pushback that they've had, but I've given you more examples to make you to understand that this pushback is longer than this dispensation of leadership in the party, in the PLP. This pushback can be, it may be safe to say, that is almost 35 years old, or maybe old, no, maybe 40 some years old. This kind of this deliberate pushback from this organization. Now let's get somewhere with this. Let's get somewhere with this. Now, corruption knows no ilk. It doesn't know any specific ethnicity, no grouping, no race, no religion. Corruption it permeates all. It permeates all. It can touch everybody. Okay? Indecency is everywhere, like the air we breathe. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, all breathe that thing in. And corruption is the same thing. However, in this country, more specifically, after the 1982 election, general election of this country, and the murmurs began to erupt, and the country is being endowed with cocaine, and there is an epidemic from a global standpoint in 1981, which was HIV and AIDS, and there is global degradation. There's this sort of a global diminishing. The prosperity and this kind of an idea of liberation that existed in the 60s and people being free for all as it relates to being able to get with anyone has diminished over the years, right? We found our liberty and our strength and our perceived, quote unquote, independence or self-governance in 73. And less than 7 to 9 years later, less than 10 years later, we were at odds. We were at odds with global entities. I don't know whether or not it's as a result of our aspirations, our ambitions. I don't know whether or not it's as a result of our inability to fall in line with the corporatocracy that exists from a global standpoint. I don't know exactly what's in place. But if you read this book, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman, right? It's on Amazon. The author's name is John Perkins. If you read the book, you'd recognize something. That these are all by design. That you believe as a result of what you see on the surface of not necessarily being connected to what's happening deep state, beyond the curtains. You'd believe that this is just a happenstance, but you didn't see that this is by design. John Perkins starts to talk to us about how he was even identified as an economic hitman. Right? They call it EHM. And in designing those things, he said he went to the Peace Corps. Right? Before that, he was going to the Secret Service or trying to be able to get into something, and then he went to the Peace Corps. And in the Peace Corps, based upon proximity that he had to certain persons, they would have identified him in certain areas, and then they was able to really evaluate him over the course of those years that he was in Ecuador, right? This was a good book, guys. I tell you, I didn't even finish. He was in Ecuador, and he found his wife. His wife's name is Anna, and they kind of got together and did some stuff in terms of their relationship in the beginning states. But they both went off to the Peace Corps, and the Peace Corps was in Ecuador. And she was responsible for being able to deal with people. He was responsible for dealing with systems and efficiency in those areas and really being able to empower people. And this entire time he was being evaluated. And after this particular course, he indicated that he only went to the Peace Corps because he didn't have to go off to war, right? Because you were automatically recruited if you were over a certain age or under a certain age, right? I think between the ages of 18 and 25, you were automatically recruited if you weren't productive in these particular areas. So he wanted to go off to Brownsville, to college, and he found a caveat of being able to go off to the Peace Corps, which said to him he still got the immunity and doesn't have to go off to war. And so I'm reading this book, and it starts to be able to identify that these economic hitmen come into your country under the guise of the corporatocracy. They come into your country based upon these big entities, these big global entities, right? These big entities that gives your country hundreds of millions of dollars. I know this isn't something that we should be talking about on the radio. I'm serious. But I just need you to understand and just wake up and don't be stupid. I have to talk to you like this. I need you to understand to wake up. And so it started to talk about this sort of an idea that under the guise of corporate entities that comes in and bring these tremendous amount of monies to your country and being able to do this, then it says to you, once you do that, the corporate entity says that, let's say hypothetically, that we're going to construct roads for you, or we're going to be able to bring these particular things for you, and it's going to cost your country $100 million to be able to do that. And the corporatocracy is an ecosystem of various corporate entities. And so if they say it can cost you $100 million to do that, and they give you $100 million to get it done, and then you go back to them to get it done, this is their money in the first place. So they didn't lose anything. The entity in the book, it actually starts to talk about Texaco. I'm telling you, this is what the book say. This ain't Howard. I didn't say this. In the book, it starts to talk about Texaco in Ecuador and how Texaco was responsible for being able to empower and bring in statisticians, mathematicians, scientists, ecologists, economists, all these particular things under the guise of being able to empower Ecuador and the Ecuadorian people in these particular space. And as a result of that, after they've created, and this is what the book say, after they've created these false narratives and false reports that you ingested within the parliamentary administrative arm of that particular country and identify this thing as good, then you are released a certain amount of money. But the money come from Texaco. This is what the book say. This is what the book say. And as a result of being able to do that, the money going right back to Texaco, but you literally have to now simultaneously pay Texaco back $100 million. So if they give you $100 million and you take that money and you want to be able to and use all that stuff, they get the $100 million, take it back into their company, into the coffers of their company, and you still have to pay $100 million and the interest on those particular things. But they make these loans, design these loans in such a way that these loans are insurmountable. You can't even reach them. And anytime you get close, they keep giving you more loans. And the book indicates that as a result of not being able to align yourself with these loans, if you don't take these loans, if you don't take the $250 million loan, if you don't take the $300 million loan, if you don't take these particular, no matter what you do, the second level of this is when they send the jackals. I'm trying to get someplace with you. Based upon this text and the information that came to the forefront, we have to realize and read between the lines. The book states that USAID was designed strategically and specifically for this, and simultaneously the World Bank. Now, I shouldn't be saying these things out loud, but this is what the book says. And whether I hear or I don't hear, the information exists in the book. It is for you to understand, and the questions that you have, that we continue to levy against our politicians of what you've done with this money, or what you've done with that money, or what you've done with all these things, you have absolutely no idea. No idea of how, by design, we are being eroded. Our culture, our people, and everything. And this is why I said to you some weeks ago that the PLP's enemy and their fight has never been the Free National Movement. On the surface, it seems to be. But you have to ask deeper questions. I keep telling you this. And if the PLP doesn't understand and realize that this concept of corruption that could belong to anyone at any time is only levied, the cloud of corruption looms over the PLP. If they don't understand that they're fighting a bigger fight and they have to put energy and resources behind being able to eradicate this concept and idea of corruption only existed in the PLP. And they have to put energy behind being able to rid themselves of this idea of being perceived socially, based upon conditioning, as an organization that only deals with corruption, and they have to be serious about this, then you will always be in this space. If you don't deal with this, you will always be in this space. If you don't deal with this transparently, you will always be in this space. There is much to be said about this. And whilst we identify from an external standpoint these ideas about these entities, organizations from the world over, and we grab their reports and ingest their reports to say that these are true, these things are designed to be able to put you in a position of debt. We've made billions of dollars with that and don't see no movement in our country. We are making millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars as a result of the millions of tourists that's coming here, and we don't see no money locally. And no one's asking why our governments continue to be able to place their energy and their emphasis on external things without being able to deal with the intangibles and the indifference and the brokenness and the disaster that's happening in our communities. Nobody asking real questions like this. And even if you ask those questions, there's no expectation for a real answer. There is relentless deflection. That's all you do, is deflect. That's all you do. Politicians take on this posture and indicate to you, forget about what you're asking me. What about when the FNM did it? Yeah, I want to ask all two of you all this. That's why y'all don't want to be on the stage together. That's why y'all don't want to debate together. That's why y'all don't want to debate together. Because if I ask him the same question that I ask you and none of y'all answer, then the question is bigger than you have, than both of you, than your organization. What is running this country? Why do you keep feeding us this concept and idea, this perception of liberty and independence and freedom, when the truth of the matter is every one of your hands are shackled and none of y'all have a mouth to speak truth? This information existed before us. And as a young man, I'm 43 years old, and I'm only now, over the past 20 years, getting into politics. And all the politics that I've ingested, local politics, have been superficial. The geopolitics that exist in these particular spaces to talk about why we are in a particular position, everyone is mum. Nobody will talk about that. But when I read it in the books, and I say, well, Jesus God, I see in this right here. I see in this right here. When I read it, and I come and I deliver it, I's the problem. Here's the problem. You need to wake up, man, and realize that liberty and this idea of freedom only exists in your bosom. At the beginning of the book, John Perkins starts to talk about this idea about in Ecuador. And I come into your telephone call, don't hang up, and just relax. Give me 2 seconds. He started to talk about Ecuadorian bricklayers, right? He started to talk about these bricklayers when he was in Ecuador, in the Amazon and all these other spaces that he was in, wherever he was, right? And they were bricklayers. Now, they would lay bricks very cheap. They would bake the bricks and fix the bricks, but they needed to figure out the efficiency of being able to create more bricks, right? And he was supposed to be able to help them with that. Now, as a result of the bricks that they laid, the mafia, a RICO group, right, RICO, came in and they took the bricks for pennies on the dollar. It's for nothing. They just give these people a couple little change, and whatever the case may be, they take the bricks and sell it 10 times more down in the city and all those persons. So they have been the liaison that is really being able to boost the price in these areas. And so he said, John said to them as they came to him and they complained, because, who people can complain to, the first white man they see. Sir, you look like a boss. Let me tell you something. So they bring John in. He was supposed to be the consultant who was being able to assist them with efficiency. And John, getting in people's business, said, you all have to stand up and fight. You have to stand up and fight. And even if this means that you have to die for what you believe in, you have to stand up and fight. That's what he's telling the Ecuadorian people. The people say, yeah, that's right. Let's get to stand up and fight. They cut off the mafia group. And as a result of cutting off the mafia group, they are now able to sell their bricks directly to a school, a Lutheran school that was coming in the area. They're selling bricks to them 5 times more than they were making with the mafia group. And the Lutheran people actually purchased it because it was 5 times less than the mafia was actually trying to sell it to them. So everybody won. My point. You don't need an external entity to come in and tell you, wake up, wake the hell up, and recognize your strength and power and put a demand on your government. See, this can't change by no one externally. This has to change internally. Internally. And that internal change have to begin with you, a determination to make this happen. You've been indifferent for a very long time. You've been passive for a very long time. You've been disenchanted for a very long time. But none of this can never change unless you wake the hell up and understand that this fight is bigger than FNM and PLP. This is for the liberty that you continue to espouse. This idea of a constitution and a democracy that doesn't really exist unless and until you grab hold of something. You got to wake up. This is too much. This is unbearable. That we're making money every day and we can't carry nothing home. That you're content with this idea that you made $19,000 this year, $25,000 this year. We have 400,000 people. We're making billions of dollars. We got millions of people coming over here on a consistent basis. We got people purchasing land. We got people digging up the seabed, sucking up all the fish of the ocean, doing all these things, taking all our natural resources, and we ain't making a dime. We ain't making no real money. This slave money. This chump change. Because John Roll will come you right here now and tell you ain't got $500 in the bank and blame us for education system that never even told us about money. Never told us about money. Never told us about our history, but they told us about Columbus. You need to wake up and be decent and understand they're coming for your neck. They're coming for your future. And if you sit down here, oh, yes, sir, massa, you would end up dead. We got to fix this. Quick break, going to be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Get to stacking up the flavor at Burger King Nassau with its new Stacker King lineup. It doesn't get any bigger, better, or meatier than the Stacker Kings, which feature bacon, cheese, and a delicious stacker sauce, all piled on as many flame-grilled Whopper patties as you can handle. For the chicken lovers, try the all-new Crispy Chicken Stacker, or pile your mornings high with a croissant stacker loaded with meat, cheese, and stacker sauce on a warm, flaky croissant. Don't miss out on the bold flavors of the Stacker King collection, available at Burger King Nassau.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect. The lines are wide open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family violence, 242-300, 5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. We're here, we're talking, and I know that's been a hell of a mouthful that I said to you. I know that a lot of people are indifferent. I get some texts that says to me, Howard, if you speak about everything that is in that book, you will be canceled. Your show will be canceled. And then there's the next text that actually came through that that gave balance to those particular things. It says, Howard, it says you're preaching it. These organizations are planned money grabs. He says, Howard, I'm not an economist, but I love facts, and we don't have the leaders. We have people that follow the world plans. Everything is in a book. But to talk about it, you're the wrong one. He says, we need to be serious as a people so our foundation be strong moving forward. He says, I love the transparency. I love the direction of transparency the world is moving in, and the global leaders are at fire because of new media. Now, what new media is this lack of decorum, this irreverence, this accessibility to your spaces. And based upon what you're saying, you get the eyes moving towards you. What's that? Social media. That's not the traditional spaces. There's no formality and no lines that you have to go through. Just hop on your thing and go live. Everyone now can be able to come forward with information. And that is one of the things that's why Elon Musk got to hurry up fix these things in the event that he's going awry. Because even when he was in the Oval Office with his son on his neck like a giraffe, even when he was in this particular space, they then roused Zelensky for wearing T-shirt. But my God, this man was in there in T-shirt long time and relaxing in the prime minister's in the president's Oval Office. But they didn't say nothing to him. I watched Mike Myers then make fun of that on SNL the other night. I laughed at it. You understand? But as we look at these things and we make this determination and identify these things, you realize that media can hold you to account. And I'm not talking about CNN or MSNBC or Fox or any of these things. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about people who've dedicated themselves to being able to provide information with transparency. That's what I'm talking about. So let's talk. The line's going to be wide open, guys. Let me take a telephone call. Go ahead.
There we go.
Everything good, man. What's happening? Turn your radio down.
Yeah, but you're hitting the nail on the head. The Bahamian people, I don't know What you say? You 42 or 40? You say you're
I'm 43. I can be 44 this year. God's spare life.
My mother, when she died, she was 80-something years old, and I see she was struggling. I mean, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Understand where I'm coming from? And Howard, what you say, man, is absolutely right. You are not seeing Howard, you know, what's whole, you know, and sidewalk and things like almost the dodging and everything in this country.
Mm-hmm.
This Howard, the Bahamian people don't want nothing, Howard. Trust me on that. I've been campaigning with the DNA 15 years, house to house. These Bahamian people, till they can't fool me no more.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot fool me no more. The Bahamian people, they don't want it. They don't want. They only want when they come around the campaign, they want plywood on the house. They want a bit of grocery and everything. And after the campaigning, they back suffering, hustling around the neighborhood and running to bank to bank, trying to hustle money. You understand where I come from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't want none. They letting the people. They can't afford me no more. I don't think I can vote now, but they can be. They can have some serious questions come to them.
Who are you voting for? I mean, are you considering the traditional parties, or are you going contrary to that?
No, I was with the third party DNA, but then everyone branched off. But I used to vote for the FNM, but I don't know. I mean, the PLP wouldn't be in my vote. I mean, they understand the come because every time they come in power, they say they can do this and do that, and they get voice.
I like what you say. I appreciate your call, man.
So Pentad, I don't know. I mean, the way our team is going every day. Look at it. I was going towards them again. The way our team is stuck now, it's like he's going to be a puppet.
My God.
Yeah, man.
This heavy what you say.
Be a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't be able to change nothing. I don't know why they keep telling people that. And remember, Reece Trippin. He said on his own mouth that when he reached inside the parliament, he realized how much people underneath him that running these parties.
That's
they have a whole organization different running these parties. They don't mind them fooling you. They can talk, but this, that, and all that. They can be puppets. Always can be puppets.
That's everything what you say, my brother. I do appreciate your telephone call. I remember that, I asked Reece Trippin about that. Reece Trippin has been in, he started to tell me about how long he's been in the Free National Movement. This is between me and Reece now, when I interviewed him. Reece told me he was in the Free National Movement from 1992. He helped these particular people. And in 2017, right? 1992 to 2017, now he's realized what exists in these particular organizations. I haven't been in Parliament yet, and I sit here telling you about these things. If we can play fool, then we can play fool. But if we can be transparent, let's be transparent. If you are a party man and you're on a party line, and if this is what the party say and this is the direction you take it, then say that. But oh my God, this ain't a road to Damascus experience where the scales have fallen off your eye and all of a sudden there was an angel that fell down from heaven and saw, but I don't have time for none of that. Either you know or you don't know. I never lied to you. I said to you, I wanted to get involved in politics to take my conviction in the FNM, to say, I believe that if I sit in the FNM, that I could change things. I wanted to get involved to do this here. I want to take what I believe with me, dust off the Constitution, and get back to the morals that exist in this organization, the transparency and accountability of the organization. That's why I wanted to do it, Not to thief your money, not to be out here sitting down speaking well. That's not what I wanted to do it for. I believe that you should do things in decency and order. I believe that. I believe that because I have a different faith and conviction that I carry. That every night that I kneel down before my Father, and I don't know if I can wake up in the morning, I got to be honest with me and honest with my dealings and honest with Him. I can't lie. So I'm not sitting in your organization and devising foolishness, and then all of a sudden when they want nothing to do with me no more, then they say, oh, well, I didn't even know. Let's just wake up, man. If you can be honest, let's just shoot straight. If he's a party man, he's a party man. I like how Anton is called the show. Yeah, the PLP is wrong for this. The PLP is wrong for that. And Brave is, whoa, man, we can have some challenges in these areas. But Howard, I want you to know, it's PLP all the way. Be honest. This is who you are. Let's be transparent about these things. Yes, some things need to be broken, but this is where my support lies. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling out here? I need that transparency to come from the party, from the core of the organization, to identify the infractions that existed under the successive administrations that held the governance of their organization. I need the FNM to say, yeah, this is what the hell we did wrong under Minnis. This is what went wrong under Ingram. I know we like to be able to prop up Ingram on our shoulders, but he could have done better in these particular areas, and this is what we can do. Let's be honest, man. Don't tell me that more the PLP do. That ain't got nothing to do with us. The brand of corruption already on their party, they got to deal with that. What you coming out here telling me things for and making it seem like everything is okay? Everything is not okay. And the PLP got to fix their organization. How you gonna let people call you a thief and a liar for years and you ain't do nothing about that? The people here don't know nothing about your party, but they are afraid to be able to put an X next to the crowd because they associate the crowd with thieving. And that ain't no fault of no one in this era and dispensation. This is something that existed a long time that you have not dealt with. How long I can let the people call me a thief? And I know I never thief nothing. I know I may be in a grouping of some thieves. But I ain't no thief. You all got to fix that. Fix that. And fix it quickly. Let's go to the line. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
What's up, my dear?
How are you?
Everything good? What's happening?
Yeah, been out of the country for a while, but anyway.
Praise God, you're back safely.
Yes, thank God for that. Listening to what you were saying, I wanted to chirp a little something in there because I haven't heard anything about it publicly, so I don't know if it's broadcast. Did you know that the government has privatized the Bahama Mix, the government paving company? You heard anything about that?
What is the name?
Bahama Mix. It's an arm of Ministry of Works, the paving section of Ministry of Works. They recently privatized that. I didn't hear it mentioned.
I did Bahama Mix. I didn't hear anything about that. I can go read it up.
Yeah.
I can look it up.
The husband works there. And he said, if it's not already done, it's in the final stages of being privatized. Why are they doing it under the ground or undercover? Why isn't it broadcast? Because that's an extension of Ministry of Works. That's a part of who make up the works section in this country. Why is it being privatized secretly?
Mm-hmm.
Who's getting it?
Wow.
Who is getting it?
I can read up on that and find out some more information. I think a lot of us are out here. We just go along with the get along, just to exist.
Exactly, and like you were talking about with Anton, being able to, I guess, for lack of a better word, constructive criticism to the PLP, right? Mm-hmm. But he still go vote PLP. Mm-hmm. We need to change that color. We need to change our skin. We need to go out there and say, listen, you was wrong for what you do, therefore you're not getting my vote because I didn't like this. But if you saying I'm doing wrong and you still sleeping with me, I'm not wrong. Why would I accept your criticism if you still got my hand? I mean, tell me. If you want a child to listen to you when you are disciplining them, you have to be how would I say? You have to be tough with it. Tough love. Show them tough love. We can't just say one thing, but still stand up by their side, wave, scream, and holler as if they are the do-all, get-all people. You understand me? Mm-hmm. If you're wrong, you are wrong. And if I tell you once or twice you're wrong and you're not listening, then I have to show you. My Grammy always say, I can show you better than I can tell you.
You see, but the issue that we have in this country is that we keep going right back to the same people that we fired. We keep
That's what I'm
going
saying.
right back to the same people that we've chastised. We keep going right back to the same people that we've cast off. The Bible
Hold
could
on,
never
let's see.
work.
Okay, I understand what you're saying with that. You know, I guess you meaning that the same between the PLP and the FNL.
Yeah, you keep getting back to the same people.
However, I didn't see anybody because, okay, like you say, the PLP is known, I guess, from persons within that has branded them, like Loftus Roker had branded them a corrupt party from within, right? Then the FNM is known for a party of infighting, right? Now, here is the upcoming COI. They're known for being often arrested. Who hold theirs clean? So we want our prime minister to end up behind bars someday for screaming and shouting in the middle of the road.
You did a lot. Okay, this was an extremely slippery slope. I just want to let you know that this is a 90-degree slope. I didn't know that you was going to do this for me. You can give me a little bit of slide. It going straight down.
Yeah.
The advocacy that we've seen for the forefront coming from the COI. And I got to go to this commercial break. I can if you call back, I can take a telephone call. But the advocacy that we've seen from the COI going, being able to stand up for these particular things is as a result of the advocacy for the community. This isn't something that we've seen them getting locked up on their own. Well, I guess we see on their own merit in some areas. But for the most part, this is advocacy for the Bahamian people. The Free National Movement is not only in fighting, they're also socially known as an organization that continues to be able to lend to foreign direct exchange and foreign interests. This is nothing that I put on them. I didn't say that. This is what we've identified over the course of time and history. Anton, Seattle, and I see you guys on the telephone when they get back and come right to you, okay? Quick break, going to be right back after this.
The foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
All right, guys, we're here. We got a couple of minutes out. Guys, I got to give you only 3 minutes to be able to make put your stuff on the table and just talk about these things, but I appreciate you giving me a call. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, what's up,
Good
Anton?
afternoon. How
What's
you
happening,
doing?
brother?
Right on, man. How you doing, Howard?
Everything good, man? What's happening with you?
Okay, I'm all right, Howard. Good afternoon to the nation. I don't know what you spoke about on Friday. I missed that. I was under the water with some work obligations, right? That took me to some far places. But nonetheless, I hope you had an interesting dissection of what's happening in the country, similar to what you're doing today. To hop in quickly to what I want to say, Howard. You remember Sweet Mickey came to the country under the former Prime Minister Christie?
It was the Haitian Prime Minister?
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember.
You remember what he told the Haitians living in the country, or Bahamians?
I remember it was controversial, but I can't remember it verbatim. Tell me,
He told them to
refresh me.
form a voting bloc.
Okay, yes.
He told them to form a voting bloc because that is where their power will lie.
Hold on now.
and
Let's
their influence will lie.
let's do this quickly. When the FNM actually approached them under Hubert Ingram, Ingram identified them as a voting bloc.
Right.
When Papa for Haitian, Papa for Rasta, Papa for all these particular things, this was blocks that they
All of their
identified.
segments. Right.
Okay, now go ahead. Go ahead.
And so I'm saying that to say, Howard, that, and I wrote to this under the then Minister administration when they were failing with COVID, right? I spoke to several different things that they actually went on and sought to implement. In some instances, they did it right. In most instances, they didn't do it right. I didn't provide the details, but nonetheless, Howard, as a Caribbean region, the only way we're going to become successful is if we form a bloc as one in the real sense of the words, not just the lip service. You understand what I'm saying, Howard? Individually, we are too small. You understand what I'm saying, Howard?
Okay, so this concept is not brand new. In fact, this concept was revived several times, and most recently we would have been able to see Louis Farrakhan being able to take on a position. He was in the country a while, then he went over to Jamaica, went over other places, and went to Africa, and he was seeking to bring a bloc together, and they literally ran him out. They ran him out.
Lack of knowledge, Howard. Moving on to my next point quickly. Look, and this is something I'm happy to speak to today publicly, Howard. We have governments that compare that they're doing better than the other government, right? And it happens in every administration, right, Howard? People are at their wits' end with that because they can ill afford financially, economically, to sustain that kind of conversation, because those kinds of conversation, Howard, is for rich people. It's for people who don't have any challenges paying their bills. It's for people who have massive savings in the bank account and they have some generational wealth where their children and children's children don't have nothing to worry about. That kind of conversation will not survive in the country in this current environment until and unless, Howard, under this specific circumstance, where the epitome of your success cannot be compared to a government that you already branded previously as a failed administration. You understand what I just said, right, Howard? Your success cannot be tied and cannot be measured by comparing it to a former administration that you consider a administration.
Not just your consideration, not just by your words saying consideration. The country fire you. We didn't fire them.
And so let me give the solution rather, also while identifying the challenge. And so I want to encourage leaders in the government that I support to stop that, please, because it's not going to gain us any support amongst the voters going into the polls.
This old-time politics, though, Anton, Anton, I got to let you wrap up.
I can tell you now.
But this is old-time politics. You can't teach an old political dog new trips. Not the bad way. Go ahead.
Watch this. What we need to do, Howard, is operate to our fullest potential. When we reach that peak, then we can say to the former failed administration that was voted out, this is how you get it done. And when you do it this way, like how we can do it, these are the kinds of results that you will reap. You cannot perform a little better than a failed administration and think that that's going to sell with the masses. Those are circumstances that only apply when people are doing good. And then they can say, well, yeah, we all doing good, no problem. We can continue to do good because these that's still doing a little better than them former ones. When people are in the doldrums the way they are today, you have to be performing miraculously. You have to step yourself completely different, and then you can use that to beat the political punch of the opposing party all day long. Final point, Howard, right? If we are going to, and you know, your conversation a little earlier was very timely, where you were talking about, what's the name of the book again?
The New Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Yeah, Confessions, right. Howard, one of our biggest areas of downfall in the country is tourism, financial services, as well as government. Howard, tourism, financial services, and government. You see what Super Value is now seeking to do with the Ministry of Agriculture, Howard?
The eggs is $3 and something
They
cents
are
now.
seeking.
You better buy them eggs and hatch a
down
couple of them.
to a quarter of what it costs to buy it currently in the food stores. Howard, the government has legislative power and authority in this country, and the government also has.
But Anton, before I let you go, how come only in times of distress they recognize the strength that they have in the pen?
See, Howard, because status quo is choking the living daylight.
Well, then we don't need a government who only concerned.
Economic empowerment is being choked out of the different daylight of the government and the private sector by those in the status quo.
I gotta see Alan kill me. I gotta let you go. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. You really did well in terms of being able to contribute and put it there. I know you got more to be able to give, but we only got a couple minutes, and I got to see Alan here also. Go ahead, see Alan.
Yes, Howard, I just have to call you back on the direction you were going concerning the hybridization of the global model, what you call it corporatocracy, but it's now a techno-corporatocracy with some variations, and you see the response coming from other people. But let me speak, Howard, to what some of your caller says. Howard, if you have a football team or corporate place, right? When you have problems, you get rid of the coach. You don't bring back the coach that was fired. However,
the coach or the couch? I mean, I don't.
Coach.
Okay, go ahead. Let me see.
Okay. So you fire the coach, you don't bring back the coach. It doesn't diminish the team or the corporate entity. You're looking for what is called leadership, as opposed to what we've been having, because we have too long considered the who, the what, which, when, where, and why. We've never considered the competency of the ability to say how. And that's what we have to move towards that type of conversations. And then we have to have conversation in context. Because again, you know Haitian folks in the Bahamas, and there's no Haitian bloc, maybe Haitian, heritage or something of that sort. But here's what we have to do, Howard. We have to understand that because we may seemingly think we're drowning, we can't allow people to bring bundles of straw to the harbor and throw it at us, and hopefully we grab at it. We have to move away from what is called the harvested delusion and begin to question the leadership. Only like Apple and the rest of them, they brought back leadership who had proven themselves. We have to move to that point. But political parties, just like football teams and other things, that the individuals play the game. The leader leads, not the brand of the team, not the brand of the corporation. And so let's have a fight on idea and critiquing who can best articulate the way forward without looking back. And if we can do that, we can move forward.
Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate your telephone call. We are flat out of time. It is 2 o'clock. But I just want to be able to say to you that this is the course that we're going to have to take in this country. This is the introspection that we have to do. The idea of being able to look within ourselves and ask the pertinent questions. We keep asking superficial questions, topical questions, questions that just the froth of a conversation. We never get to the depth. Who, where, why, what, how? And most of the time you'd recognize that this are the Geppettos that are being able to pull the strings of our economy, of our community, and our direction. We got to be able to fix those things. I want to thank you guys so much for being able to tune in with us today. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. We're going to see you guys next time right here on 96.9 FM radio. Have a great day, guys. Going to see you tomorrow. God spare.
The foundation.